Welcome to social science classes. Okay, good morning students. We have completed 5 lessons. In history 2 lessons, geography 2 lessons and civics 1 lessons. So in history first lesson we have studied about the advent of the Europeans. Advent means the arrival of the Europeans. The second lessons we have studied about the expansion of the British power in India by wars, subsidiary alliance and doctrine of lapse, isn't it? So today I am going to teach the third lesson. The heading of the third lesson is rural life and society. Rural life and society. Rural means village. Village life and society. What is the meaning of society? Society means a community of persons or a group of people. That community. So rural life and society. Okay. The heading of the third lesson is rural life and society. Okay. In this lesson we are going to learn about the changes within the rural society, the changes within the rural society during the British rule in India. Okay, not at present, during the British rule in India, what are the changes took place in the rural society or rural life of the people. Okay, so already we studied the expansion, they followed different policies, isn't it? Doctrine of lapse, subsidiary alliance by wars. But now they want to collect the taxes, revenue, isn't it? Now they want to collect the taxes. For the revenue, they introduced 3 policy or 3 system, that permanent settlement, right-wary system, mahalwari system. That permanent meanings without changes it continued. Permanent settlement, settlement meanings land revenue. What is the meaning of settlement? Land revenue. So permanent land revenue system. Then right-wary system. Right meanings cultivators or farmers are called rights. Okay, rights-wary system. Wary is Tamil word only. So right-wary system. The cultivators or farmers, that land revenue system. Third one is the mahalwari system. That mahal means village. That a group of village is called mahal. So that village, that very system. So these are the 3 policies followed by the British in order to collect the taxes from the cultivators or the farmers. Okay, so that first we are going to learn about the permanent settlement. Already I told you settlement meanings land revenue. Okay, we know about Robert Clive, isn't it? Robert Clive was a clerk in British East India Company. Later he became the Governor General of British power in India. Okay, so this Robert Clive, first he introduced an annual settlement. Annual settlement means 1 year collection of the tax. Okay, that annual settlement or annual land revenue. Who introduced the annual settlement? Robert Clive. After Robert Clive, Warren Hastings became the Governor General of India. So then Warren Hastings, he changed it from 1 year or from the annual to 5 years. Who changed from 1 year to 5 years? Warren Hastings. Okay. After that Warren Hastings, Lord Cornwallis, who was the Governor General, Lord Cornwallis. What he did? He introduced 10 years settlement. Who introduced the 10 years settlement? Lord Cornwallis. First annual settlement was introduced by Robert Clive. That 5-year settlement was introduced by Warren Hastings. Now that Lord Cornwallis, he introduced 10 years settlement. So it changes only. This 10-year settlement, it was called as or known as permanent settlement. That means 10 years settlement or 10 years land revenue. This permanent settlement or 10 years settlement, it was introduced by Lord Cornwallis. Okay, so here this system was first introduced in Bengal, Orissa and some other parts in India, also some other state in India. Okay, it was called by different names. Which was called by different names. This permanent settlement was called by different names like Samindari system, Jagirdari system, Malgusari system, Viswadari system. What are the different name of permanent settlement? Samindari system, Jagirdari system, Maghalsari system, Viswadari system. These are the different names for the permanent settlement. Okay. So what is the meaning of Samindar, Samindari? Samindar means in Tamil we say Jamindar, isn't it? They are the rich people, they are the land holders, okay. So they are the rich people, Jamindars. That is in English we are calling Samindar, okay. So this system, the Samindari system was abolished after the independence of the country. So the Samindari system was not in life, okay. So after the independence of India, this system was abolished, okay. The amount of land revenue according to the permanent settlement, the amount of land revenue that the Samindars had to pay to the British government was permanently fixed. For that permanent 10 years, how much land revenue, that tax they want to pay to the British government. So the Samindaris, how much tax they want to pay to the British government fixed. Permanently it was fixed. Okay. The Samindar would grant patta to the cultivators. Cultivators means the riots or the farmers. Who paid the patta? What is the meaning of patta? Patta means written agreement. Nowadays also we have that land means all of you have patta. Okay. So in those days, this Zamindars only provide the patta to the cultivators or the farmers. Okay. That riot meanings farmers. Okay. So this was the main policy of the permanent settlement. Here that this is Samindars. Only they get the Samindars were the owners of the land. They provide the land to the cultivators. From the cultivators they collected the tax and they provided to the British government. Okay. So now what the merits of the permanent settlement or the Samindari settlement? What was the merit? Useful. Okay. Or what are the good qualities of the permanent settlement? First, under this system, many waste land and the forest area became cultivated area. That is one good, isn't it? Waste land. Many of the waste land and the forest area became a cultivated area. Then second, the Samindars became the owners of the land. The Samindars became owners of the land. Third point, the Samindars remained faithful to the British government. The Samindars became faithful to the British government. Why they became the faithful to the British government? Because they only collect the tax. They were the owners of the land. These facilities were given by the British government. So they are faithful to the British government. Who were the faithful to the British government? The Zamindars were faithful to the British government. Okay. So this system was guaranteed a fixed and stable income for the British government. It gave a fixed or stable permanent land revenue to the British government. There was no change. Already the British government fixed the permanent tax, isn't it? So the Samindars collect the tax and they gave to the pay to the British government. So here the Samindars, they were act as an agency between the British government and the cultivators. Who act as the agents between the British government and the cultivators? The Samindars. Okay. These are the good qualities or merit of the permanent system. Then second, next demerit. Demerit. What are the demerits of the permanent system? The British government had no direct contact with the cultivators. The British government had no direct contact with the cultivators. Okay. So then the rights of the cultivators was ignored. Ignored meanings it was disregarded. Because if they had any worries, any sadness, any things means they have no right to express their ideas to the British government, because there was no direct contact between the British government and the cultivators. Okay. So that the rights of the cultivators or the rights or the farmers were ignored. Okay. Then next, the peasants, the cultivators were almost treated as slaves. Why? These Samindars, they collect more taxes from the cultivators. Okay. So they were treated as a slaves. This system made the zamindars luxurious. This system, which system? The permanent settlement system that made the zamindars rich or luxurious people. The amount of the tax collection from the cultivators was not fixed, but the British government fixed the revenue, permanent tax to the zamindars. They want to pay to the British government. But the amount of the tax collection from the cultivators was not fixed. So what is that? Zamindars, as their wish, they collect the tax from the cultivators. So they find very worries, isn't it? The condition of the cultivators was very worryable condition. So these are the merit and demerit of the permanent settlement or permanent land revenue system. Okay, next, right very system. Very, all of you know tax, isn't it? Right very system, right meanings what I told you, the cultivators or the farmers. Okay, so here this right very system was introduced by Thomas Munro and Captain Reed. Both of them together, they introduced the right very system. Who introduced the right very system? Thomas Munro and Captain Reed. But who introduced the permanent settlement? Lord Cornwallis. Don't forget. Okay. Here Thomas Munro and Captain Reed, both of them only, they introduced the right very system. Right very means the village, the farmers or the cultivators. By this system, the right of the owners of the land was handed over the peasants or the cultivators. Now who were the owners of the land? The farmers or the cultivators became the owners of the land. They have the right to the owners of the land. From the zamindars, the right was handed over to the farmers or the cultivators. Okay. Next, the British government collected the taxes directly from the cultivators. The British government collected the taxes directly from the cultivators, but according to the permanent settlement, the zamindars only collect the tax from the cultivators. Okay, so now this, according to the Raithwari system, this system was introduced by Thomas Munro. According to this system, the farmers or the cultivators became the owners of the land. So British government also collected the taxes from the cultivators directly. Okay, the revenue was based on the basis of the soil and the nature of the crops. They collect the fixed the tax according to the nature of the soil and the crops. All of you know, isn't it? The soil, the condition of the fertility of the soil is different from place to place, area to area, state to state. Okay, so according to the fertility of the soil and the crops, the tax was fixed. In which system? Raithwari system. Okay, the government fixed the demand at 45 to 55% of the produce. How much tax they fixed? 45 to 55% according to the fertility of the soil. They want to pay the taxes 45 to 55%. Okay. Under this system, the government used the farmers instead of the zamindars. According to this system, instead of the zamindars, the government used the cultivators or the farmers. Okay. So this system is very good, isn't it? According to this system, that British government only directly collect the taxes also. Okay, so they are little benefited. Who little benefited? The cultivators were little benefited. So next system, Mahalbari system. That is Mahalbari system. Already told you, Mahal meanings few villages together called Mahal. Okay, that according to Mahalbari system, this system was a brainchild of the called Mackenzie, who introduced the system called Mackenzie. He was the finder of the theory. Which theory? That the Mahalbari system. It was this theory was founded by called Mackenzie. It was the brainchild of called Mackenzie. He only found this theory, but it was introduced by whom? by the Lord William Bentinck. Who was Lord William Bentinck? He was the Governor General of British power in India. So, the system was first founded by Holt McKinsey. It was the brainchild of Holt McKinsey. But this system, the Mahalwari system, was introduced in India by the Governor General of Lord William Bentinck. Okay. So here, according to this system, it was introduced in the year 1822 AD. So the village as a whole, through its headman meaning the head of the villages. Okay, the headmans, otherwise they are called as the lamberder. What is the meaning of lamberder? Lamberder means village headman. Nowadays we called the president, village president, isn't it? He is the head of the village president. So in those days, the village headman was called as the lamberder. So this Mahalwari system was introduced by Lord William Bentinck. It was a brainchild of Holt McKinsey. According to this system, they are selected some village headmans. They are called as the lamberders. Okay. The lamberders acted as the agent between the government and the cultivators. That means the head of the villages, the village headman acted as the agents between the British government and the cultivators. So here that instead of the zamindars, they given the power to the lamberders. Lamberders are the village headmen. Okay. So village land belonged to the village community. That village land was belonged to the village community. From that, the village headman, they only provide the land to the cultivators and they collected the tax and handed over to the British government. Here they act, the lambers or the village headman act as a zamindars. Okay, both are the little same only. So permanent settled, the zamindari system and this lambers, both are the little same only. So the effect of the Mahalwari system. The lamberders enjoys privileges which was misuses for their self-interest. Like the zamindars, these lamberders are the village headmen. They became a very luxurious life. They became a rich people also. They are enjoyed, used for their self-interest. Okay. This system brought no benefit to the cultivators. Like the permanent settlement also, same only this system also. This system brought no benefit to the cultivators. It was a modified version of the zamindari system and benefited only to the village headman only. Okay. So now the study about the three systems or three land revenue policy systems introduced by the British government in India. Okay. So now we are going totally the effect of the British land revenue system on the cultivators. The effect of the British land revenue system in India. Okay. So the first, the peasants were overburdened with the taxation. Overburdened with the taxations. Why? Because that only this system, the Mahalwari system only, the government fixed 45 to 55% of the production, isn't it? But other first, this system and this system, Mahalwari system, both here that zamindars only got benefited, here this village headman, the lamberders only get the benefit. So this overburden to the cultivators. Okay, the peasants were overburdened for taxation, isn't it? They want to provide more tax to the zamindars and the village headman. Okay, so they had to seek. Now they want to pay the tax, isn't it? More tax they are collecting, but the production is less. Then what they will do? They research and seek the money lenders that who became rich and they got land from the peasants. How they, the money lenders gave the money, provide the money to the cultivators. The cultivators want to hand over their land to the rich people, isn't it? Or the money lenders. Money lenders, you know the meaning, isn't it? Money lenders. So they got the land from the cultivators and they gave the money to the cultivators. So this money they got the money from the money lenders for interest, isn't it? So they provide this money to the government as a tax. Okay, so these zamindars and the money lenders exploit the poor cultivators. They only used the poor cultivators. Okay, so now the stability and continuity of the Indian village was shaken. Why? Because they won't lend the money, isn't it? They get the money from the money lenders. So they are unable to pay the money to interest or the money to the lenders. So now they provide the land to the money lenders. So the condition of the cultivators were very pitiable conditions. Okay, so now that cottage industry is introduced on account of the import of British goods in India. All of you know already, you have studied, isn't it, that British used our raw materials, isn't it, and they made manufactured or machine made goods from Britain and they imported to our country. So that machine made goods that were imported to India, isn't it? So it was that. So for this reason, the cottage industry also disappeared. So the cultivation condition was very pathetic condition. So the old body system custom was changed. Okay. The British land revenue policy provide advantages only the British government and the zamindars only, isn't it? The British land revenue policy, these three systems, okay, among these both two only, it was useful only to the British government because they got the permanent land revenue tax, isn't it? So it was useful to only to the British government and the zamindars only. So now what they did meanings, the life of the cultivators was miserable condition. So that famines became more frequent meanings oftenly happened. Famine meanings the scarcity of food, isn't it? So that cultivators became poor people. So that famines became more frequent. Okay. This policy led to a number of revolts took place against the British. So the cultivators or the farmers, they joined together, fought against the British government in India. Mostly that period during the 19th and 20th century. Okay. So